How are we supposed to treat a team that is holding teams to less than a touchdown a game when Alabama in 2011, your favorite Alabama team, I might add, your favorite LSU team, also, I might add, is holding people to just 8.2 points per game that season?
I think that you're going to have to judge them against another team that is also able to hold their opponents to close to single digits. I don't know if they're going to get it. Like the only kind of dogfight that I think that would like excite me is a game where they have to find a way to manufacture points, because I think that because otherwise they're just a dominant. Like, go ahead and mark them down as one of the more dominant teams of the past decade if they keep this up. But if the only challenge is, I don't think that they're going to get into uh, they're not going to get into a foot race. I don't think they're going to get into a shootout. They're going to have to be able to survive a team that is as good defensively as they are. And if they don't face that this year, uh, it's hard to tell. It's going to be hard to tell if they are uh, great or this was a very strange year in the rest of the Big Ten or college football as a whole.
Hey, understand what he's asking of Ohio State might be on the table, it might not. Um, One of the things that I think is interesting in, to make plain here is it's not as if Ohio State is just a defensive team. They beat Minnesota 42-3. They beat Ohio 38-9. They beat Grambling 70-0. The low scoring game is quite literally the one they played against Texas 14-7. In an ordinary year, we might say, oh, they're defensively dominant because they run the football and they don't score a lot of points. And that's part of the sauce is we're just going to be balanced. They can run up the score and keep the score down. And we haven't really seen a team like that since like 2005 USC, which had Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, and others on it. To say Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart also ended up winning the Heisman Trophy. Matt Leinart in 04, Reggie Bush in 05. It feels like that kind of team. So when I hear you say they're getting lucky, I'm also wanting something like, do you think that Illinois might be able to beat Ohio State this weekend, especially when the game is in Champaign, Illinois?
Yes.
Okay. um, following that,
I do have kind of a vaguely, I mean, it's not really specifically related to this topic, but I was thinking about, you describing our Galactus, as a good all rounder and that stuff. Like, we've been talking a lot about how much players get paid because they're getting paid. Actually, go figure. And I was just kind of curious, is there some sort of weird pay scale spreadsheet that they, put to what player to what position? I assume quarterbacks probably make the most, and then it kind of goes. But I just was kind of curious. I'm sure they take stuff like you're saying, people who are all rounders into account, right? Who can
no. They're
not.
No.
Okay, sorry.
You're on it. You're just ahead of college football. So what you're asking about is a salary cap and slotted values. We have those in the NFL, right? We do.
Yeah.
We even have a franchise tag in the NFL.
I figured it had to be something like that.
In college football, we more or less follow it, but I can give you a rough estimate as to people what get paid because the market will pay you what you're worth. Quarterbacks get paid the most. Edge rushers get paid the second most. Defensive tackles get made the third most. And then you can basically slot wide receivers, running backs, linebackers into the same spot, and then safeties, defensive backs, cornerbacks, wide receivers into another spot. And then your offensive linemen, depending on tackle, they might make as much as rusher if they're that good. If they're guards, they probably make as much as a wide receiver. and then you got your specialists. So generally speaking, the water finds its level, right? Ohio State can outbid you, but that doesn't mean that they do. They've been very good about putting together the roster that they think they need to go win, as opposed to the most expensive roster, like, say, Texas Tech. These are things to keep into account. It's also very interesting when we think about OU and Texas, because Oklahoma might have spent about $3 million on its quarterback. Quarterback was hurt against Kent State, recovering from surgery. He broke his thumb on his throwing hand against Auburn in the first quarter, still finished the game, and played really well. 271 passing yards, 14 to 16 in the second half, led a comeback, all those things. Then, oh yeah, I broke my thumb. I need surgery for this. Who do we get to do this? A world-renowned surgeon. Great. Dr. Shen fixes his hand, and now it's about how quickly he can recover. So the conversation has been, will he play against Texas on Saturday? When the SEC injury report came out today, he was listed as questionable, which is more food and or fodder for the group, which I'm a part of, which thinks he might play on Saturday. He's been pushing to play. He wants to play. And OU is a top 10 team, even a top 5 team when he does play. But that's what the $3 million is for. What is fascinating about all of this is that Arch Manning, your nemesis.
He's not my nemesis.
Your
I'm
antagonist.
Sure he's a very lovely young man, and I wish him all the best.
Yo, Ron, who's the evil faction in Warhammer?
Oh, they're all evil. What are you talking about?
What a good question.
Okay.
I would say it is honestly, everything I know about Warhammer is against my will. The one thing that I do know is that they're all pretty evil. I don't know if I would sleep soundly being a part of.
All right. Let me.
The Adeptus Mechanicus, is that Kate? Is that a one? Is that a one? Yeah, there you go.
Kinda. So no, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not.
You are doing it. You're already there. I can hear you. Are you getting coached up? Because if you're getting coached up, that's great.
Oh, we're talking about football, and
are we?
I won't go in.
Are we?
Heard anything you guys say about anything? But no, I have my list of stupid questions I was going to ask you.
And I'm getting there. But right now, I need to find a good comparison for John Mateer versus Arch Manning. And Arch Manning has been catching all sorts of just slings and arrows because he hasn't played poorly. He just hasn't been great. And we expected him to be great. And now that Texas is 3-2 and goes from the number 1 team in the country to unranked before week 7, we've got lots to talk about going into OU Texas, a game that Oklahoma fans didn't expect to win in the preseason. And Texas fans expected to win going away, in large part because Oklahoma's defense hasn't been as good as it is right now, which is diabolical and really outstanding. And Arch, who looks very much like a buck that I saw on a ride today. He's got big horns. He's galloping free, but it feels like all I got to do is put my sights on him and down he goes. That's what's been happening. That's been happening. By the way, it is bow hunting season in Oklahoma, so I was very upset to not have my compound bow with me. That aside, he's also got really great tools around him. He's got great wide receivers. He's got great running back. He's got a decent offensive line. He's got one of what we thought was the best defense in college football until such time as Ohio State said, no, we're here. We got this.